Well, this is it. The moment certainly we've been waiting for, but probably what you guys have been waiting for too. Welcome back to another episode. We're here in the woods, and it is time for part 3 of the Wigwam series. It's finished. It's pretty much finished anyway. There's a couple of holes. I said there's actually quite a few holes that we've got to fill in. We've had a few rain showers as well, so it's a bit of a test of our resolve. Let's see if we can stay dry for the night. But what we've done is we've finished off the bark on top of the structure. If you didn't see that, head on over to up here. I'll put a link to part 2 where you can watch us peeling the bark and putting it on the tree. We just peeled a few more pieces and they're now on the shelter, and we've lashed them. But because we filmed that loads last episode, we didn't do too much on that for this episode. What we've also done is this is awesome. I'll show you this in a minute in a bit more detail, but we've made a door out of a boar hide. I'll give you a bit more detail about the hide itself. There's a pretty cool story behind it. I'll tell you that later. We fashioned up this frame from hazel. Just a quick lashing. I'm not sure, maybe you guys can correct me, but I think traditionally a lot of the kind of Native American hunters, certainly in the kind of northern regions, they were nomad. They were moving all the time. They were following the herds. And that's where their food was. Their food source was, you know, the herds of animals and the game that they could hunt. So in order to put up these structures, they did it quite quickly. They would need to do it quite quickly. And I think traditionally some of the hunters would have actually used hides, not even bark, just straight hides on the structures. And then because they're so easy to just roll up, you know, carry on your back and just move on to the next site. So I believe traditionally, I may be wrong guys, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that's kind of what they did when they were moving quite fast with the herds. The other option is the bark, and like I say in the previous episode, they did use silver birch bark because they had giant silver birch over there, still do, and easier to peel than cedar, and yeah, again, rolls up into a nice tight ball. You can carry it, you can move it. This stuff goes really, really tough and hard when it's dry. The frame itself is what they would build each time, because obviously you'd need the sticks to be green. So they would carry the roofing material with them as they moved with these herds, and then they would rebuild the frame and the cordage and things when they get to the new site, which is awesome. You know, it's a kind of nomadic way of using bushcraft and natural materials as they moved. I mean, you can't get more bushcraft than using hides and tree bark. Like that's as pure as it gets. So yeah, I've learned a lot about this, to be honest. This is fairly new to me. I did make a kind of wigwam style frame with Dustin last year, and we used a tarp with that one. But this is the first time I've built one with natural materials. And you know, we're in a great woodland. We're in a nice dense cedar forest. The trees that we've used, a few of you have asked in the previous episode, the trees that we've used were already dead. They were already cut down. They were actually being used for firewood and chopped up for firewood and sort of sent off around the country. We were basically making use of a resource that would otherwise have been wasted or burnt, you know. So we've made a really cool structure. The other question I got was, same with the Viking house, the Saxon house, things like that. Do I just build these structures and leave them in the woods? I don't. They get used. They get used mostly for teaching. Kids and adults, they do get used. So yeah, this is all, it's been built for a purpose. It's going to get good use from not just myself and Dustin. And his GoPro battery's just run out. He's devastated. But anyway, that's enough waffling from me. We're going to get some food on. It might be a bit dark when we film later. If it is, I'll show you the structure in more detail tomorrow. But we've got the hides. We're going to do cedar bough beds. We're going to have deer hides on top, sheep skins on top. We're going to cook up a monster feast. It's going to be awesome. Thank you so much for clicking on the video, and I hope you enjoy it. Dude, this chicken's got the funniest pose. It's like, I'm a lady! What is that pose about? That is the way it's just toasting its arse, just like... What is that about? I'm not quite sure what actually happened there. Dustin, can you explain to me as a mere peasant what actually just happened?
Right.
What we got?
What we did was we made a little marinade. I mean, we've got our chicken here. We've got a nice little rub on it, and I just thought let's have a little bit more flavour to it, little bit of a marinade. So marinade-wise, as you just saw me do, I chopped up some garlic, ginger, and chilli. I then added it to this mixture that I poured in, which is something that I brought from home. It's made up of soy sauce, a little bit of oyster sauce, and a bit of sesame oil. So all of those ingredients have gone into this, and ideally, in fact, we're going to do it now. We're going to just put it in the heat, just so all those ingredients that I chopped up, they can kind of infuse into that oil and soy sauce, and then when it comes to 10 minutes time, when we turn it again, we'll just baste it with our cedar. You know, everything on this comes from the cedar tree. Cedar branch, cedar cordage, and then little cedar greens on the end. And it works great. I reckon give this another hour and it'll be ready. We've got some more vegetables to go with it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I am getting quite hungry now.
I was just about to say, we're actually at about 8 o'clock and it's looking awesome. Like we're ready to eat, but we've got another hour. So Amber's got the right idea. She's just napping in the corner over there. She's doing the right thing, so she wakes up and food's there.
We've got the deer hides as well to put in.
We do have a bit more to do, yeah.
But just to wait in case they get a bit damp from just the air, the moisture in the air, we might just wait a few more hours until moments before we go to bed, put the deer hides down. Then they'll be nice and
I think that's wise, man. I think that's wise. Look at this setup. It is just, we're super chuffed with this, aren't we?
brilliant.
That is, I mean, we've got the boar hide door, bark roof, which is collapsible, by the way. That door collapses down. We've lashed it so that it folds down, goes back up. Maybe we'll try and show you tomorrow. And then we've got cedar boughs in there. We're going to put deer hides on top of that, sheepskins on top of that. And it's just, now we've got a feast cooking. I always love these first overnighters that we do in our shelters because there's always just a ridiculous feast. But yeah, this is something else. This is going to be really, really tasty. And I want to thank you guys for sticking around and watching this, and also to everyone who watched the previous episode, because yeah, loads of you watched it, so I appreciate that. And if you're enjoying it, give it a thumbs up. If you've got anything you'd like to say or comment, now's the time. Drop a comment. Be great to hear your feedback on the series itself. We're probably going to round this off with maybe one or two more episodes, which won't necessarily be building wise, but well, we will be building, but something that's slightly different. We've got some good ideas, haven't we?
Maybe camp improvements.
Yeah, kind of camp improvements, but with some really, really good additions. So we're looking forward to doing that. But we're going to give it an hour or so here, and I'm going to check in with you guys, hopefully with a full belly, or about to get a full belly. See you guys in a bit. I think you should have the first bit. It's only fair. Look at that. Wow. It's gonna be roasting hot though. Yeah, I bet it's so hot.
That's really nice.
Yeah, I bet. Look at it.
Lovely, great flavour in that marinade.
Actually, we could use that as a
Use that as a stick. Yeah.
that marinade.
Have a go.
Look. First night in the well, we haven't even been in the Wigwam yet, but the food is top notch as usual. Dustin's nailed it.
Thank you very much.
Amber agrees.
Deer. Maybe a fox.
Probably. That is absolutely awesome.
It's actually quite spicy.
It gets the bag in your throat. Right, actually go for another pepper. There it is.
I was just saying how it's cooked really well. The heat, it was a constant high heat, but offset as well, so that it cooked it really well without burning it. Yeah, I'm quite impressed actually. It's cooked it.
It's actually
incredibly well.
Yeah, it's just falling apart. Falling apart. For those wondering if we get comments saying, "Are you going to feed the dog?" We do. Dustin definitely feeds Amber.
She gets fed daily.
She literally,
Twice a
she
day.
wouldn't be here walking if he didn't feed her. But we do feed the dog. So don't worry, guys. She does get fed. She actually
she does.
probably eats more than us, to be fair.
She does, yeah.
But yeah, she does get fed, and she's a good girl. I would bring Jax out with me, but to be honest, at the moment, obviously with Em being pregnant, she's now on her own at home, and I don't really kind of want her being completely on her own all the time. So that's the reason Jax hasn't come as much. But I think Jax will get on with Amber a lot better. He's a bit older now, so maybe on the next trip or something we'll bring him along. And They can have a bit of a laugh together.
See if Amber can teach him a trick or two.
Yeah, exactly. She can teach him the begging trick really well.
Yeah, I bet. She does, and this is like a little evening snack for her.
Yeah, it's a monster bone. The size of
There
it.
you go.
Oh, she's chuffed. What you got, Amber? What you got? You rip that bone. Actually, I was saying earlier, they burn for ages, don't they? Like, you can burn the banana skin and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because the interior of the banana, those bananas can take it.
Yeah, they're kind of like, you know, foil.
Yeah, they just take it. And then inside of the banana is absolutely fine. It's not burnt at all.
Not burn at all.
So even if you
nicely
forget about
cooked.
it, it's there. Look at that.
Look at that.
Chocolate infused banana. Love it. Cheers, mate.
Cheers. It's the sort of thing you have like twice a year
Yeah. Huh.
over a fire in the woods. But yeah, I love it.
So good, man. And actually, for like scouts or anyone teaching kids, how good is that as
So easy.
as a simple, safe, food safe
Exactly.
thing for
You
kids?
can even do it over the barbecue.
Yeah, so good.
You know, you
and
can-
it's healthy and unhealthy, but
It's sweet. Everyone likes a sweet treat.
exactly. Oh, it's so good. Hey, but like mosquitoes, you can kind of deal with. Unless you're in those sort of regions where they're really deadly. But here in England, you can definitely deal with mosquitoes. But, God, ticks. You don't even know they're on you, and then it's like 3 days later.
At least with a mosquito, you're like, oh, get off.
Yeah, exactly.
Like earlier, peeling
Or
the
you'll hear the mosquito coming. Ticks just sneak up on you.
Yeah, and you don't feel them crawling up your skin either.
You don't.
Then they dig in, and by the time
You-
they've dug in, you
yeah.
don't even realise.
You feel them when you catch it. Like you're like, what's that lump? And then
Yeah.
you're like, oh, you just want to burn them.
Exactly, yeah.
Another successful shelter build,
Yep.
which doesn't get wasted. Remember, guys, it gets reused, teaching things like that. For us, it's kind of a new skill, learning new skills along the way as well.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't get wasted at all. People use it.
We're passing on knowledge. That's what we're doing. We're passing on knowledge that would otherwise be lost. So it's nice to just pass something on that's going to get lost. And you know, people aren't reading books as much these days as they used to. So it's quite nice to use a platform where a lot of younger kids are using and pass on that knowledge. That's what it's all about.
Exactly, yeah.
Keep it alive.
Exactly. Or even go back to the food. You know, people watching this can easily go and do this at home. Showing them different things they can try. If they've got their own private woodland, they can build
Yeah.
their own shelters.
Well, you can
peel their own bark. Good luck.
But yeah, good luck with the bark peeling. But even if you, let's say for example, you don't have bark, you don't have access to any bark, you could put about, I think it was 7 or 8 probably hazel sticks together, and
Yeah.
you could put a tarp over it, and you've got pretty much
easy.
the same
You
structure.
could do that within an hour.
Yeah, you've got the same structure. So you can adapt it to how the resources that are available around you, basically.
That's exactly it, yeah. I'm sure they did that back in the day.
Yeah, they would have. They might not. They might have gone to a region where there was no bark, and that's what I was saying earlier. They just used hides from animals they'd hunted. If they didn't have hides, or they didn't have bark, they probably would have just put debris on there, like a debris shelter.
Yeah, whatever they could use, whatever they could find, whatever's available.
Leaves or just anything to protect you from the elements. That's what these sort of shelters are about, really. Quick, simple. I say simple, but quick shelters. There is our boar hide door, which we're going to fold down tonight, and this is inside the wigwam. That is pretty. I'm pretty chuffed with that. We're both pretty chuffed with it. We're going to have a bed there, Amber's bed in the middle probably. This is a 2-man shelter. And look at it. There's the hazel frame. You can see all the cordage that we've used to tie off any areas that needed it. The structure is absolutely solid now. I mean, I could shake it. Obviously, there's a bit of give, but the bark is just It's absolutely solid. Every piece of bark now is really solid in here. It's been one of the most rewarding shelters we've built, Dustin, I'd say.
It is really
Because
satisfying.
of the effort we put into this and the time it took to bark peel. This is definitely one of the best, I'd say.
We've done well, and it's really satisfying knowing that there's almost like a solid wall.
Yeah, there is. Wind-wise, we're sorted. We've just got tiny holes and a few big holes, but we've doubled up bark. You can see there to cover holes. Oh, the light goes. To cover holes there, we've doubled up bark just to cover it. But
yeah, it just needs a bit more patching.
it needs a bit more patching. Like for example, there is a hole that's not doubled up, but that's going to take time to peel all that bark again, and the logs are pretty much too dry now, so it is what it is. And if it gets wet, we get wet in here, but I don't think we're going to get soaked.
Well, fingers crossed, we'll stay dry.
Hopefully.
Yep.
Either or, just... It's a big hide there, man.
Cheers. Sweet.
To be fair, this
Looking pretty cosy
is
already.
pretty, yeah. That's a sheepskin. Sheepskin. That's a hide. Two more hides. Oh no, there's another one. Big one. And then a little one there. And then there's one more. And then two sheepskins. Cool. So this is sleeping setup for the night. Got some obviously cedar boughs here underneath, which I collected earlier. Some of Dustin's deer skins, and then I've got a sheepskin as well on top of that. And I'll probably have a sleeping bag on top of that. But it's, heat wise, it's not an issue tonight because it's over 10 degrees, so it'll be easy, nice and warm. And that's Dustin's setup there.
So these fold in.
I think so, yeah. Slide down next to the beds. I'm guessing. That was the theory when we set it up. So the hide just covers the door. That was meant to be. That was meant to be. Some people would think we planned that. We definitely didn't plan that
at all.
Well, if you're still watching, massively appreciate it. Thank you. We're going to call it a night. We're in the Wigwam, and we were just saying it's probably big enough for 3 people. We've got Amber's bed in the middle as well. She's down here. But it's definitely big enough for 3 people, if not 4, if you slept someone across the back end. But
yeah, there's loads of room in here.
there's actually once you're lying down, because I think with traditional wigwams you do crouch down to get into them, because again I think the people of in that sort of region, in those tribes and things like that, were quite small people, certainly years ago anyway, so they didn't need to build big huge doors, big high sort of entrances. So a lot of the entrances were actually really low down, and ours you do need to crouch to get into, but when you're in there you can stand up, but also once you lie down you realise how big it actually is in here. And yeah, it's awesome. It's really cool with that bark all the way around, and it actually throws off the light really well when we're filming, which is handy. So we're going to call it a night. Hopefully we have a good first night here in the Wigwam shelter. Thanks everyone if you're still watching. And if it rains, it rains. We'll soon find out where the leaky holes are.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. And yeah, you can tell by our moods in the morning if it's rained or not. But yeah, we'll catch up with you guys tomorrow.
Right, that's it.
Well, good morning guys. We have made it through the night. We've survived. And actually, it was a real test of the shelter because we had some rain. It rained for about, I'd say 2 hours probably.
2-3
Yeah,
hours.
maybe 2 to 3 hours. Quite heavy at one point, But I was saying to Dustin, the sound of the rain on the bark roof was absolutely awesome. However, definitely got dripped on quite a few times, on my face, on my shoulders, so we need to sort some of those holes out. I had to keep adjusting my head where I'd sleep, just so that the drip would hit the sheepskin instead of hitting me on the face. And actually that's what woke me up in the night, was the rain dripping on me, but not a huge issue. Managed to get quite a few hours sleep, to be fair. And look at it now, actually you can see it's quite wet on the roof, so it definitely has rained. But awesome shelter. Definitely a couple of degrees warmer in there, because today, now that we've had some rain, this is the first time we've had rain in over, I'd say, a month and a half, nearly 2 months, and the temperature's just plummeted. It's much colder, but warmer in the wigwam itself. It's been fun. It's been really fun. We've enjoyed building it. We've enjoyed doing the first camp in it. Here comes some more rain. We're gonna get some breakfast on, get a cup of tea on probably as well, and maybe start packing up soon. Oh, it's been good. It's been another awesome project. I'll show you the inside now. It's a bit lighter. So you can see there's the wet all around here where it's been raining, and there's the dry of the interior. There's the dry line, and then you can see obviously the holes are still there, but if I can get my light out of my pocket. But it's just these little ones here. You see the light coming through them. Those are the ones that the drips came through, which got me pretty wet on my face down there. That folded down in the night. We just got 2 Y sticks basically. You can see there's a little kind of Y shape there, flapped over the arms of the hoofs of the boar, and then we threaded it through the eyes. You can see this. Through the eyes there, where the eyes would have been, we put a horizontal stick through, just below the ears. And that way we get that kind of effect at the front, where you can see its snout. What's the story on this boar, Dustin?
So the story is that this is a boar that Camilla's father shot back in February. We've got some of it still in our freezer.
Oh, that tastes good.
Yeah. It's a great piece to have at home. You know, it's just making use of a material that would otherwise be thrown in the bin.
Yeah, it's amazing though, isn't it? He's done a really good job with that.
Look at that, look at the snout.
The snout and everything, yeah. And the hoofs.
Yeah.
Look at those. That's awesome. Monster hide as well. They're so fat.
I know, it's
They're
huge.
such big animals.
You can see why you wouldn't want one of these charging at you in the middle of the night.
No way. Absolutely awesome. We took the hides off the top there because we knew it would.
Yeah.
We were forecasted to rain in the night, so we took those down. And we've still got some more bark over there against the tree, which we're going to use to layer up and just plug some of the holes. But I think we'll just use moss, right?
Yeah.
For the small holes.
We'll use what we can bark-wise, and if not, we'll just plug it with moss. And,
yeah.
But as long as we can get the majority of the holes on the top plugged,
yeah,
then at least if there's holes on the side, then, and if rain does get through, then it won't really affect us.
No.
Or
and
people inside.
That's more like a winter thing, isn't it? Just to keep the cold there. We were saying we could put some leaves or debris right up against the side all the way around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just so it doesn't. They can maybe dig a little trench or something so the water would run away. But we're super chuffed with that. That's been a wicked project.
It has.
Right folks, I'm going to be calling it a day on this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. We've had an absolute blast here at the Wigwam. We've finished it pretty much, but we obviously do have to patch up some holes. We're going to be doing a few more kind of smaller projects, adding things to it, adding things just outside of it. It's all part of a bigger plan that we have as well, which we are not going to tell you guys about, but it will be, you'll find out down the line. But I just want to say a massive thank you to all of you guys for tuning in and watching this kind of mini series. I do appreciate it. If you're looking to watch from episode 1, I'll put links in the description below. If you want to see Dustin's version of this, head on over to his channel, Bushcraft Tools. There's a link in the description. Don't forget as well, subscribe to our other channel, TA Fishing, where, wait for this, Dad has just built a boat from pallet wood and duct tape. It's funny. It's a really, really funny video. It's, you know, it's got everything in it. I'm going to put a link to that particular video in the description as well below as well as his channel. I urge you guys to go and watch it. If you're a fan of the pallet cabin series that we did, you're going to love what Dad did with this little pallet wood boat. So go and head over there, hit the subscribe button, tick the bell. Do the same for Dustin's channel, my channel, everything like that. And yeah, merch as well. One shameless plug of merch. Bushcraft Brotherhood is still out. There's still loads left. Got obviously Bushcraft Brotherhood here, a couple of axes, wolf in the middle, all sorts of cool things. There's other merch on the site as well. That's taofficial.com, worldwide shipping, and yeah, tees like mugs, t-shirts, everything, hoodies, sweatshirts, all of it. You know, it's a good way for you guys to come and help support the channel. I'd appreciate it. If not, don't worry, that's cool. I will see you guys soon in the next episode. Oh, we've got something really weird to show you. Look at this.
Have a look at this.
Right, normal oak leaf, right? Average sized oak leaf. That's definitely, I'd say, an average sized oak tree leaf. And look at that.
Look at the difference.
That's crazy.
How is that possible? And it's kind of...
That's a freak leaf.
These are collected below the same
it's
tree.
The same tree. So what's going on? That's a radioactive leaf right there. That's weird. Dude.
Strange.
And cheers to that. We're going to keep... I think we should keep this somewhere. As a
memory.
An homage and a memory to...
We'll stick it up inside. You know, we'll patch up a
That's
hole
almost
with
big
it.
enough for the door.
Yeah.
Cheers for watching, guys. We'll see you soon in the next episode.